Charles Strickland says, impeachment. I say, no. I cannot imagine a world where that happens, Charles. I mean, it's just enough work just to get the press to admit he did something wrong. I just, given, this is a mixed answer. I just don't see, as a plain-spoken answer, you get that from me anyway. I'm not going to mince words with you here. I don't see any world where a black president is impeached. I just don't see any world where the press would do it. I don't think there's any world where congressional Republicans would do it. And they wouldn't do it because they're afraid of the charges of racism, and that's what allowed this scoundrel to get away with everything that he's gotten away with. I'm not afraid of that charge. It doesn't bother me, and the reason I'm not afraid of it is because when we were in debate and we were trying to do flow the arguments and stuff, and somebody would criticize something with your plan, let's say, or with something, and you would say that is not a unique disadvantage. In other words, it's not a unique disadvantage means that both sides of the argument suffer from the same flaw, so it's a wash. And my attitude towards being called a racist is it's not a unique disadvantage because they're going to call me a racist whether I criticize him on the basis of his spending or if I criticize him on the basis of his race. They're going to call me a racist anyway. I've watched it happen over all the years. I've heard the Tea Party and conservatives slandered as, oh, you hate him because he's black. It's like, no, it's the only thing I like about the guy, actually. I hate him because he's red. Anyway, that's your answer, Charles. There's no way in the world that's going to happen. They're just not going to do it. Part of that is because, as I say, they're just not going to impeach a black president under any circumstances. I cannot imagine it happening. And on a different level, the press is not going to. There's not going to be impeachment proceedings because the press will provide him with the shield because they ideologically agree with him. They understand what he's doing. They agree with it. And what else do you have to say? When the President of the United States stands in front of the United States Congress and says to the Congress in the floor of the House of Representatives, I am going to bypass all of you elected representatives. We're tired of waiting. We're tired of congressional inaction. I'm going to use executive orders and I'm going to use the pen to make all of you people obsolete. And half of the room bursts into applause. What do you say to that when the Democrats are applauding the tyrant announcing that I'm going to simply circumvent the will of the people through you, the representatives? When Democratic congressmen applaud, you're in the loony bin there. And there's no press criticism that's going to get through. The only thing that's going to damage this guy is the real world consequences of his actions. So he will continue to take damage through Obamacare. If he gets Common Core, he'll take damage through Common Core. And I suspect he's probably going to leave office with, approval ratings in the high 20s. Small consolation. The bigger consolation will be, will the American people go opt up for a third one? I don't think there's a chance. And people talking about Hillary being inevitable, I think it's inevitable she's going to lose. I don't even think she's going to run, frankly. I don't know. Hillary's not just old. She's old news. I mean, if you can't defeat Hillary Clinton, Ted Cruz would destroy her. Ted Cruz would destroy her. And I really like Ted Cruz an awful lot. So anyway, sorry, Charles. I literally cannot imagine it. Listen, Charles, you saw it and I saw it, right, buddy? I saw the President of the United States of America sit on a couch, lean over to the ambassador of one of the countries that have been our arch enemies for 100 years, and certainly one of the most violent and anti-American power players in the world today, and lean over to the Russian ambassador and say, if you lay low and don't give me any trouble until after I'm elected, in other words, if you give me personal political gain, I will hand you the defense of Eastern Europe through the anti-missile shield. What did Benedict Arnold do that got him the title of the worst traitor in American history? He handed out the keys to a defense in exchange for personal political gain. It's treason. It's on camera. It's on camera. Didn't happen. The first firewall I'm going to do is going to be called gaslighting, and I'll talk about that. I was supposed to get him today. I did a speech in St. Louis a couple weeks ago and another one in Ramona a week before that. And they're both really pretty good speeches, I think. So I have some speaking engagement stuff up there. But I'll talk about this gaslighting effect. But I won't do it tonight because we've got a lot of stuff to do. But anyway, yeah. So sorry about that, Charles. Wish there was a happier answer.